I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Hello.
All messed up. How is everybody this morning? Greetings and salutations. All right, coming up on the show, JD Vance's honesty has Germany completely freaking out. Kaitlan Collins tweets, bleats and deletes. I love that. And then Elon Musk's new baby, the baby mama drama that's happening with Elon Musk. We're going to be breaking all that down, all that, and a ton more. You guys can visit us and see all the things, all the places, all the socials and whatnot, chicksontheright.com/links. Also, please click subscribe to this podcast if you haven't. Please
do that.
Yeah. I was not going to cough today, and now I started coughing right before we went on. Dang it. I'm like getting so much better. Yeah.
I hope everybody had a really good weekend. We have lots of things to get to. Should we just get right into it?
Let's get right into it. Let's go. Let's just jump.
All right. So you guys remember how David Hogg is the co-vice chair of the DNC now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know it, he's already taking advantage of his position. Apparently, the New York Post is reporting that he has been using DNC resources and his title as DNC vice chair to solicit donations not to the DNC, but to a PAC that he controls and uses to pay himself a salary.
Oh my God. This tracks, doesn't it? It totally does.
Such a piece of crap, this guy.
Beard, he's growing the beard so he doesn't look like an 11-year-old kid.
Well, and that could be an old photo. I don't even know if he's got a beard right now.
Yeah. So he's just,
maybe
this is what they do. They enrich themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he is such a scumbag. But at the same time, if this is truly happening, because apparently there were rumblings that members of the DNC were not happy to find out about this. And I'm just like, well, this is what you get.
Exactly.
What would you think you're going to get when you promote or elevate someone like David freaking Hogg?
Such a grifter.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get what you get.
And you don't throw a fit.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Interesting stats that you had found over the weekend, and that is this handy little chart of the net worth of US presidents before and after they were in office. And it's so weird.
Very weird.
Everyone except for Donald Trump somehow becomes super, super wealthy as a result of being president.
Isn't it? And so when you hear people say, oh, he's doing this only for money, or he's getting rich off of this, he and Elon are like getting rich off of you. I'm like, oh, really? God bless you. Seriously.
So
I mean, look at Obama's.
Look at Clinton. That's the one that was like the worst of the worst.
Oh my, you're right. Clinton is the absolute. Can you even? 1.3 million to 241 million?
I mean, what in the actual world?
Barack is a close second. It's crazy, you guys.
And I honestly don't even really understand how Barack started with 1.3 million. You know what I mean? That's a pretty hefty sum.
Yeah, it is. It is big.
He did nothing. He was a community organizer and then a junior senator for 2 seconds.
I was going to say he was a junior senator, and maybe just being in the Senate, like doing that, you can start inside trading and stuff. It's crazy the amount of money these people are making. That's why we all want to dismantle the deep state. Mm-hmm. This is proof right here. This is why.
This shouldn't be a thing that happens.
No, it should
not.
This
should not happen as a result of public service. You should not be making a fortune from being president. You just shouldn't.
Nope.
And speaking of people who are grifting and doing corrupt things, so interesting right now that you can track. Now, of course, I didn't, but like other people on the internet tracked how differently or how what the frequency is of certain search terms in Google are at certain times of the year. So, like for example, searches for white privilege, right, started increasing a whole heck of a lot when Obama became president.
Right.
These words were never even thought about before that. And now, as a result of DOJ and all of the investigation into government corruption that's happening right now, people in DC are terrified. And now Google searches they've exploded for the following terms in DC: criminal defense lawyer, RICO law, Swiss bank, offshore bank, wire money, IBAN, statute of limitations, like all of these search terms. Look at the graphs. They've just been like, pew.
Yeah. Also, a lot of people are moving out of DC. Yeah, which they're like getting out of there. I'm sure because a lot of people have lost their jobs. These people who they're not working there anymore, and they're like, well, crap, I got to go find another job somewhere in the private sector. Good luck with that. Yeah, they're coming to a neighborhood near you.
That's true. But I mean, the fear that is clearly gripping all of the bureaucrats in DC, and one of them in particular, that horrible, awful, terrible Peter Strzok. He has completely wiped his entire Twitter account. It's gone. Every tweet that he ever had.
They're coming for me.
Yep.
God, he's so sinister looking. He looks like the devil, doesn't he?
Yeah, that thing that he did that was like so creepy,
God, and his
that
face is so sinister. He's just,
I know.
Yeah, it's gross.
So gross. So gross. You guys, quick reminder that it is never a bad time to spoil your loved one or yourself with something luxurious, as everything is, from our friends at cozyearth.com/chicks. Your bedroom, for example, should be a retreat from all of the crazy. It should be absolute serenity. And Cozy Earth sheets make it that way. Like, their sheets are temperature regulating, unbelievably soft. They somehow get softer with every single wash. I don't know. I don't understand that kind of magic, but it's true. And it's probably why Cozy Earth has a 10-year guarantee on their sheets. So you're going to like them, and you're going to use them, and you're going to love them for 10 years, or you get your money back. I mean, that's a pretty amazing guarantee.
That is. And then the fabric, you use them every single night. You're
right.
in them. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of that, if you can't get enough of the feeling of those sheets against your skin, and you won't be able to, then you can also wear them. Now, I'm not talking about wearing sheets. I'm talking about wearing loungewear from Cozy Earth, because they have these amazing pajamas, amazing robes, even outdoor stuff like their joggers feel so, so good against your skin. Oh my gosh, everything is luxury there. Everything. And their fuzzy socks. Everything is so, 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 so nice. So create your own personal retreat where comfort and serenity come together naturally. CozyEarth.com/chicks is the website. And when you use code chicks, you can get up to 40% off your order. Again, CozyEarth.com/chicks, code chicks. Do it. Let's talk about Kaitlan Collins for a moment.
I can't wait to talk about her.
So I probably am going to make people mad on my take about this, but here is what happened over the weekend. She tweeted this: Luigi Mangione's legal defense team has launched a new website today. And then she gave the website. So everyone like completely freaked out, and they were like, oh my God, she's helping promote his fundraiser, his GoFundMe to, for all the crazy people that think it's completely justified that he shot a CEO in cold blood.
Okay.
And so a lot of people were furious at her.
And you don't agree with that? You don't agree?
Well, I mean, I do agree. But I can see what she's saying by saying she was simply reporting news. So what happened is Fox News ran with this. They said CNN White House correspondent deletes post promoting Luigi Mangione's defense fund after backlash. However, she didn't actually promote the fund. She did promote the website, which contains lots and lots of stuff, like everything that's going on with the case, all the background about the case, who's on his defense, like everything related to the case is on that website. And then when you scroll to the very, very bottom, yes, there is a link that you can click on to pay money to help his defense fund if you were crazy enough to want to do that. To be fair,
but why?
Well, she's saying, the headline is big fat lie. She's saying this is not true. I posted that his attorneys created a website, which is newsworthy, and other outlets have also reported on. In no way did I share a fundraising link for him, which is true. She did not share the fundraising link.
All right. I don't know how much news she tries to report on her Twitter feed. So I don't know like how what she picks and chooses. But this one is a weird one to pick, especially when she's probably one of those people. I know she's one of those people that is like gun control. And she's kind of, I mean, there is somewhat of a promotion here of a person who killed somebody with a gun. So,
exactly. Well, and she could have simply said, his lawyers have released a whole website about him, the end, and not actually posted the website. But she chose to post the website, and then she deleted it, which that to me was the worst thing that she did. Because if she really genuinely thinks that all she was doing was sharing a news story, why would she take it down? Do you know what I mean?
Because there was guilt there, because she knows that she actually was promoting this guy who murdered somebody with a firearm.
And she realized it looked bad to post the actual website. Even if she wasn't directly linking the GoFundMe, she was still promoting his legal team's website. And then we discover that a CNN legal analyst is his lawyer.
Okay, well,
so that
tracks.
Looks really, really bad.
Yeah,
really bad.
I mean, just CNN in general looks pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
And MSNBC. And I mean, she is the new, like somebody said, she's the new Jim Acosta. She goes into these press conferences and she's very combative. I mean, everybody knows where she stands on the political spectrum. So just choosing this to be something that you want to put on your X account. I have an X account. We have an X account. We wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
If we were journalists, we would not be like, here's his website. So interesting.
Yeah,
and
go to his
newsworthy.
website. Yeah. Why? Why would you want people to do that, Caitlin? I think I know why. Right.
You can report that his legal team created a website. Why you got to say what it is?
Right.
There's just no reason for that. So, and the fact that she deleted it makes it look really, 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 really sketchy.
Yeah, it tracks though. Another one that tracks.
Yeah. Also, she's super mad. And she released a TikTok on the CNN account about the fact that Trump chose to decorate the Oval Office or the hallway immediately outside the Oval Office with his own mugshot. Here she is reporting about that.
Not only have we never had a U.S. president with a mugshot, I'm not sure we've ever had a mugshot hanging outside of the Oval Office before.
So great.
But that is where President Trump has placed his from when he was indicted in Fulton County, Georgia, for his efforts to overturn the election. We learned a few days ago he has a framed cover of the New York Post with his mugshot just outside the Oval Office in what is known as the Outer Oval. Now, we discovered this when he was greeting the Indian Prime Minister. They were seated in chairs in front of the fireplace in the Oval. But just over the shoulder of his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, you could see the president's mugshot there as he has it framed. His aide and person who is his social media guru, really, Dan Scavino, posted a video of it saying, "Happy Valentine's Day" from the beautiful Oval Office. This has really become a rallying cry that Trump has used on the campaign trail. They've even put it on merch and sold it featuring his mugshot. And now it has a home outside the Oval Office as well.
She just doesn't get it. They're there, Caitlin. Wait your turn. Everybody on our side knows that this mugshot is a reminder of what those people are willing to do and capable of doing to all of us. Because really, I mean, it's like Trump always says, they're using me to get to you. So to me, it's like how you can never surrender, how, you need to stand up to these people that are trying to bully you into silence. They're trying to destroy you. They're trying to, they're trying to destroy him. They tried, they did not succeed. I think it's fantastic. What a great troll. I love it.
I know.
Screw
I
you.
loved it too. That was so great.
It's just a big middle finger to all the people that try to wreck him and us and this country. Fight, fight, fight is right, Greg.
That's exactly right. Also, the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live, there was a 50th anniversary tribute show, I guess, over the weekend. I thought about watching it, and then I didn't know when it was on, and I've seen
bits and pieces since then because they keep replaying it on the NBC stuff all over my.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, and I saw a lot of people who genuinely wanted to tune in, and then were immediately turned off by one of the very first skits, which was Tom Hanks on the Jeopardy show, pretending to be like a total hick MAGA supporter who doesn't want to shake the hand of a black person. This just shows you SNL has not changed. They've not learned anything from the election at all.
Yeah, it's just, did you notice how nobody was laughing? Nobody. It's not funny. Like SNL is supposed to be funny. Remember when they were funny? That's why I like seeing some of the clips, the older clips, because they actually used to be pretty funny. And now They're just a liberal propaganda machine. They all have to like lockstep, be in line with one. It wasn't funny. Plus, what was he like trying to sound like Forrest Gump? He can't do a Southern accent. Stop it. Stop it, Tom Hanks.
Did they, because again, I didn't watch it. Do you know if they used old clips or was it just new skits with the old cast?
They did some of that, and they would show like bits and pieces from old, SNLs. Like Eddie Murphy was there, and they would, they showed like a part of Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. They would do like these montages. I didn't watch the whole thing, just what I saw. That's what I saw, and then they would redo stuff like Lady Gaga did Dick in a Box. She sang Dick in a Box with that Adam. Is it Adam something or other? The Adam Sandberg, I think is his name.
Yes, that's right.
That it actually wasn't terrible. I mean, I listened to it. I was like, this is a pretty cool song if you listen to it. I mean, there were some bits and pieces. The music part of it was really neat. I think I sent you in our chat over the weekend, like a montage. It was like a 6-minute montage of all the music over the years, which if you're a music person, that's kind of cool because there have been a lot of neat artists that have come on. I think it was like Billy Preston was the very first one. And then they always had musical guests. They have had musical guests throughout the years. And so it was neat to see like a montage of that because there's been some really cool people that have sang there, performed on that stage. But, other than that, it's a terrible show now. It has sucked for years. It's not been funny since probably the 80s or 90s, at least to me. So
it's a shame.
It is a shame.
Total shame. And then there was this odd moment too, where apparently Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds were in the audience, and people are now saying SNL was trying to run cover for this couple because obviously they're in the midst of this huge legal battle with Justin Baldoni, and people have definitely dug in on which side they're on. Blake Lively has taken a huge PR hit, as she should, for making all these accusations against Justin Baldoni. And so the fact that they were there, and then Ryan Reynolds made this joke about kind of what's happening to them, it did not go over well because they think that this couple should show a little bit of humility, especially right now. But instead, they did this.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
So that was their moment.
Right. And then the whole time she's just looking lovingly at her husband. It's like, all right. I know what team I'm on.
Well, and apparently this week there's going to be some blockbuster from her legal team. For those of you following this ridiculous story, that there's other girls who are going to come out and say, oh yeah, Justin Baldoni was super creepy with me too. So she's recruited people to make the same kinds of accusations.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll work, but that's what's happening. We need to talk about Trump's appearance or attendance rather at Daytona for the NASCAR race there. There were some moments from that were really cool that we're going to get to. But first, we want to remind you to keep your data protected online from data breaches and brokers who want to sell all of your personal information to the dark web. Which is a scary place. You do not want your information there, I can assure you. And plus, whenever you're faced with like your information being leaked, or when you're faced with somebody trying to use your credit card, Aura provides those instant alerts letting you know. You can also set it to tie into your bank account so that, for example, if you want to be alerted, if there's ever larger than say $500 expense, or you set the amount. If you want to be alerted, if there's ever somebody trying to use more than $500 from your savings or checkings account, you'll get an alert from Aura. Plus, they have password managers, they have data security and privacy, they have financial fraud protection, they've got the data broker opt-out, they can do the searches on the dark web to make sure that your data is protected. All of this is stuff that you can get from aura.com/chicks, our sponsor. You can check it out for free. You can get a 14-day free trial right now by going to aura.com/chicks, and you'll know like within minutes if your data is at risk or compromised. So at least do that, right? At least check to see if your data is secure by visiting aura.com/chicks to start that 14-day free trial today. Try it. All right. So Trump decided to attend Daytona, and his Air Force One even did a flyover over the crowd. And
that's
people
really
thought
cool.
This was amazing.
It is amazing.
It is pretty neat. It is pretty neat.
People, oh my God, they had to be losing their minds.
Yeah. And then they also had like a regular flyover on top of this, which was cool. So that would be something.
It is really cool.
Spot.
And you know he orchestrated this. You know he was like, I gotta go. I want to do this because he's the master at that, right? And the guy has done so much in a month. And then he's like, you know what? Let's go to NASCAR. Let's just do this. Do a flyover. You know he did that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Jamie Little caught up with him once he landed and had a little chat with him about why he decided to attend. And here's what he said.
What brings you back to the great American race?
Well, I think it's fantastic. It's great for the country. Our country is doing well again. And we have spirit all over the world. There's spirit again. We brought it back. And it's been less than 4 weeks. So you'll see what we do in a little period of time. It's going to only get better. But this is very exciting.
You brought your granddaughter. I know some of your other family members are here. You get to take a ride around in the Beast. What is that like?
I'll let you know in about 2 minutes because they're going to be going quite quickly, I understand.
You just got to meet some of the drivers. Are you going to get on the radio again and talk to them before the start of this?
And I say they have a lot of courage doing this. I see it, and I've been here, and they have a lot of guts, as they would say.
Mr. President, enjoy your time.
Thank you very much. Great.
That was just lovely.
So cool.
I know. I love it so
look
much.
at
His granddaughter. Oh my
Isn't
gosh.
she precious?
She is darling. And when they were driving around, there's a video of her.
Thank you, Jamie.
Precious.
What a day in Daytona, the 67th annual Daytona.
Guys, have fun.
It's time.
Warmed up. I know. I can't
So
wait.
here they are going
Donald
around the
Trump
track.
taking some hot laps. We expect to talk to the president. And a little later, Morgan Freeman. We'll hear from him live on Fox.
That's random. And then that is from the inside.
Isn't
So
that
they got-
cute?
Look at her waving at everybody.
I know. She's so cute. She looks like her daddy. Doesn't she? She's precious.
Oh my gosh, that's just so cool. So
would never-
America, right?
It is. And you would never see Biden doing that. You would
No,
never
my
see
God.
Biden, Obama, Bill Clinton. You just want to see any of them
Mm-mm.
doing that. Really, you want to see you want to see George W. doing that either, I don't think. So
That's
it's like
true.
he is the first to do a lot of this stuff. He's like, he wants to be a part of some of these American traditions. And I think that's awesome because it shows how much he loves this country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super cool. And speaking of loving the country, there was an absolute knockout drag down fight between the Canadian hockey team and the US hockey team over the weekend. And Byron Donalds tweeted about this because you're going to see, here's a little summary of what happened. All the Canadian attendees booed during our national anthem. And then immediately when the game starts, 3 fights within the first 9 seconds of the game, you guys. Then US scores 3 goals. We blast Freebird after every single goal. And we completely blow out Canada in their own stadium. Here's a little video montage of everything that you just saw happen.
I love it.
Drop the gloves right away.
And then this picture absolutely has me rolling.
Oh my God.
So someone put Elon, Vance, and Trump's faces on those hockey players and said Team USA. It's perfect.
Oh my God. My first boyfriend was a hockey player. They're built differently, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it was
fight.
Jane said it's not a good example for kids. I think it's a great example for kids. I do. I think it's fine. I'm totally okay with my daughter seeing that with the complete masculinity. I want her to see all that toxic masculinity in one place. I think it's fantastic. That, and also if somebody disrespects me, you're going to pay a price for that. I don't think
It's
there's
just,
anything wrong.
I don't know what it is about hockey that like
It's
fights.
hot.
It's just, there's fights every single time.
I know. That's what they do. Like half those guys don't have teeth. This is what they do. It's just hockey. You know what I mean? Like I said, they're built differently. It's like them and rugby players. They're just built differently.
They're brutes, man. They are
I'm all
brutes.
for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, we need to talk about JD Vance's speech on Friday at the Munich Security Conference, and this was amazing. So he is not being responded to very kindly in Europe. Europe is very, very mad at him because God knows you can't tell the truth to Europe. They get very squeamish about truth telling, but that's exactly what JD Vance did. The first clip, he calls them out, various different countries on their censorship and their prevention of a concept that they have always long stood by the United States in having admiration for, which is, of course, free speech. They're constantly moving away from that. And J.D. Vance called them out.
And unfortunately, when I look at Europe today, it's sometimes not so clear what happened to some of the Cold War's winners. I look to Brussels, where EU commissars warn citizens that they intend to shut down social media during times of civil unrest the moment they spot what they've judged to be, quote, hateful content. Or to this very country, where police have carried out raids against citizens suspected of posting anti-feminist comments online as part of, quote, combating misogyny on the internet, a day of action. I look to Sweden, where 2 weeks ago the government convicted a Christian activist for participating in Koran burnings that resulted in his friend's murder. Oh my God. And as the judge in his case chillingly noted, Sweden's laws to supposedly protect free expression do not, in fact, grant, and I'm quoting, a free pass to do or say anything without risking offending the group that holds that belief.
Unbelievable. So blame
Just
the victim.
Perhaps most
Blame the victim.
concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom, where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs. This last October, just a few months ago, the Scottish government began distributing letters to citizens whose houses lay within so-called safe access zones, warning them that even private prayer within their own homes may amount to breaking the law.
Oh my gosh.
Naturally, the government urged readers to report any fellow citizens suspected guilty of thought crime. In Britain and across Europe, free speech, I fear, is in retreat.
He is a different kind of vice president, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's
God,
just,
is he ever.
Just a glow up from all the ones we've had in the past. He's just completely awesome. Plus, you know what? When it comes to Europe and NATO and all this crap, everybody needs to keep in mind that we and Poland are the only ones who pay 4% of GDP.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Everybody else, a bunch of cheapskates. So they are ripping us off. And so
And it's their area that needs defending.
Yeah. It's not our responsibility. So it's like when they look to America, and it's like they just have taken advantage of us for years. I love that we finally have an administration that's like, no, no.
We've got something to say about it.
Right.
And he has, I mean, he was literally in Germany calling out Germany, and rightly so, because they needed to hear this. He also talked about, he kind of made fun of the fact that there's so many people in Europe who are all bent out of shape, like Democrats here are, about Elon Musk. And here is how he scolded them about it. It was perfect.
Expressing opinions isn't election interference. Even when people express views outside your own country, and even when those people are very influential. And trust me, I say this with all humor, if American democracy can survive 10 years of Greta Thunberg scolding, you guys can survive a few months of Elon Musk.
Right.
But what no democracy, American, German, or European, will survive is telling millions of voters that their thoughts and concerns, their aspirations, their pleas for relief are invalid or unworthy of even being considered.
God, he's a man of the people. He really is. What?
Yeah. I
cannot say nicer. There's not enough nice things to say about him. He's the real deal. It's like we've been waiting for somebody like him, and I hope and pray he never changes, but I really don't think that he will.
Yeah. Well, the German, whatever you call the German person in charge, if it's prime minister, chancellor, president, I don't know. But that guy, Olaf something or other, got up on stage and was just like, that's unacceptable. He said to the Congress, what JD Vance said is unacceptable. The problem is it's all true. And so he can find it unacceptable to be called out, but he needs to own it, because it's exactly what's happening. And we'll show you a report about that in just a second. First, we've got Marco Rubio, also just the best Secretary of State, such a statesman. He's calling out the reaction from Europe, saying, I don't know why everybody's upset. They're supposed to care about freedom of speech too. Here he is.
Allies or anybody be irritated by free speech and by someone giving their opinion. We are, after all, democracies. The Munich Security Conference is largely a conference of democracies in which one of the things that we cherish and value is the ability to speak freely and provide your opinions.
Right.
And so I think if anyone's angry about his word, they don't have to agree with him, but to be angry about it, I think actually makes his point. I thought it was actually a pretty historic speech, whether you agree with him or not. I think the valid points he's making to Europe is we are concerned that the true values that we share, the values that bind us together with Europe, are things like free speech and democracy and our shared history in winning 2 world wars and defeating Soviet communism and the like. These are the values that we shared in common. And in that Cold War, we fought against things like censorship and oppression and so forth. And when you see backsliding and you raise that, that's a very valid concern. We can't tell them how to run their countries. He simply expressed in a speech his view of it, which a lot of people frankly share. And I thought he said a lot of things in that speech that needed to be said. And honestly, I don't know why anybody would be upset about it. People are allowed, you don't have to agree with someone's speech. I happen to agree with a lot of what he said, but you don't have to agree with someone's speech to at least appreciate the fact they have a right to say it, and that you should listen to it and see whether those criticisms are valid. I assure you, the United States has come under withering criticism on many occasions from many leaders in Europe, and we don't go around throwing temper tantrums about it.
Right. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, exactly. You know that like when he gets up on the stage, he's like, he probably has this like mama on his ear, especially with guys that get up after him and say, oh my God, that was not appropriate. You're not supposed to do that. Like this, I don't know. I can't remember the word that he used, but he thought it was unacceptable. She's like, that guy's a dick. Like, he's like here in his ear is Meemaw going, don't take that crap. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Right. And the people who scream the loudest, kind of like what Marco Rubio is saying, they're the ones who are guilty of it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like what we're seeing with all this, Doge stuff. All the people who are freaking out the most are the ones who are the guiltiest.
Yep, absolutely. And then in that same interview with Marco Rubio, this was with Margaret Brennan, oh my God, how she is still an actual reporter or journalist, I have no idea. But she tried to claim, and of course he promptly shot her down, she tried to claim that the whole reason for the Holocaust essentially is because of speech being used in a way that riled up everybody, I guess. I mean, the way that she says this is so insane. And he was like, no, Margaret, she's getting killed for this on X, you guys. Yeah. And rightly so. Here it is.
Standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party that has far-right views and some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship
I have to disagree with
was
you.
specifically about the right.
No, I have to disagree with you. Free speech was not used to conduct a genocide. The genocide was conducted by an authoritarian Nazi regime that happened to also be genocidal because they hated Jews and they hated minorities and they hated those that they had a list of people they hated, but primarily the Jews. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was none. There was also no opposition in Nazi Germany. They were a sole and only party that governed that country. So that's not an accurate reflection of history.
I just read a history.
We don't really care, Margaret. We don't really care.
You remember when Face the Nation was actually like a lot? They've had some decent hosts. They've had some, at least I may not agree with everything that they say, but they've at least have some hosts who weren't just flat out stupid like her.
I mean, she's just
dumber than a stick.
Wow.
Yeah. And you could see it in Marco Rubio's face. He was like, I can't believe I have to talk about this garbage with her. Cause let me go ahead and educate you, Margaret. Mm-hmm. You could just tell by his face. He was exhausted by it. Oh my
God. That was.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
That was really, really, really bad.
Media is, they're trying to get air. You know what I mean? They're just they're grasping at it's a death rattle, you guys. They're dying. It's a dying medium. It is.
Yeah, it is. 60 Minutes. Also, this is very interesting in light of the fact that the German leader was like, that's unacceptable what JD Vance said. What JD Vance said was 100% accurate. And there was a 60 Minutes report about it also this past weekend. Here are a couple of highlights. It is insane what is happening there. I'm
No,
sorry.
It doesn't. That's what makes it free, you idiot. Oh my gosh,
Right.
Germany, what are you doing? I can't. I would imagine the DNC is probably salivating and they're probably thinking, how can we hire these people?
Yeah.
This
is our utopia. This is exactly what we would have had the election not gone our way.
Right. You're absolutely right. How terrifying is that? It's outrageous. That's outrageous. Outrageous. God,
it is. And we saw how crazy the DNC, like their whole election process was to get David Hogg elected and all this, all the crazy people. Germany's got their own share. So this is like, I can't believe this is a real person, but this is one of the German socialist government people.
A politician.
Look. Oh my God.
Germany. It's the poster person for Germany right now.
Hello, ich bin Alexander
Hello.
Hermann.
Hello. Hello. I hate free speech. Hello. What was that? What did we just see? It's like male pattern baldness, right? And then boobs, bolt-ons. He had bolt-ons. Am I wrong?
And like David Hogg legs.
Oh, it was just like he looked like Gru. You guys know who Gru is?
Gru, yes, he totally looked like Gru.
His body was Gru. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The whole thing was disturbing. That is your poster child for Germany right now when it comes to politics.
Good luck with that. That's their socialist party or whatever.
Good luck with that. Again, the DNC is like, oh, how can we get this person to work for us? Because
he seems
great. Nice.
Yeah. Also, over the weekend, there were a lot of meetings, a lot of chit chats with Zelensky and about Zelensky. So first of all, Vance and Rubio and some other folks on our State Department team met with Zelensky's and his team. And this is JD Vance kind of welcoming or talking to the press about the meeting that they're about to have. Here is that moment.
We're, of course, happy to welcome the Ukrainian delegation led by President Zelensky. We had a number of fruitful conversations, a number of things for us to follow up and work on. And fundamentally, the goal is, as President Trump outlined it, we want the war to come to a close. We want the killing to stop, but we want to achieve a durable, lasting peace, not the kind of peace that's going to have Eastern Europe in conflict just a couple years down the road. So we had a number of good conversations about how we might accomplish that together. And certainly we'll have many more in the days, weeks, and months to come. President Zelensky.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Very briefly, I think Vice President said everything absolutely correct. We are very thankful for American support.
Yeah, you should be.
We have good conversation today. Our first meeting, not last, I'm sure. And really what we need to speak more, to work more, and to prepare the plan how to stop Putin and finish the war. We want peace very much, but we need real security guarantees, and we will continue our meetings and our work, and we will be very happy to see General Kalak also in Ukraine in this closest time. Thank you, Vice President, for meeting. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you so much.
Great.
I can't stand him. He's such an actor. I can't. He's that guy that's just so shifty, and I don't trust him at all, not one bit. And I want all my money back for all those celebrities that went over there and sucked up to him.
He doesn't know where a lot of that is.
Oh yeah, it's surprising.
There's like $100 billion that he's like, I don't know.
We don't know where. Yeah, but he's really grateful for our help. Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you and your wife like going shopping.
God.
I bet she's really grateful too. I can't. I just don't like that guy.
I mean, both sides of this war are so detestable that it makes it really hard.
But the fact that we have given so much money to this guy and he's also corrupt. I mean, Putin's corrupt. We know that, but like he is also corrupt. So let's go ahead and just throw a bunch of money that we don't have at him while we're broke and our country's suffering. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. He also sat down for an interview with Kristen Welker, who was asking him about something that Trump had said initially, but then also walked back a bit, which is that, the question was asked, will Ukraine have a seat at the table when it comes to negotiating a peace deal? And so she asked him about that.
Thing that President Trump said this week. He did not say yes when he was asked if he sees Ukraine as an equal member in the peace process. He did say later that Ukraine would have a seat at the table. Have you been given any assurances that Ukraine will have an equal seat at the negotiating table?
So I will never accept any decisions between the United States and Russia about Ukraine. Never. And our people, never. And our adults and children and everybody. It can't be so. This is the war in Ukraine against us, and it's our human losses. And we are thankful for all the support, unity between USA, in USA, around Ukraine support, bipartisan unity, bipartisan support. We're thankful for all of this, but there is no any leader in the world who can really make a deal with Putin without us, about us.
Yeah, so I'm super grateful for you guys basically funding it, all you American taxpayers, but I'm not going to listen to anything that those people say is basically what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't want any input, even though you guys have paid, you've bankrolled it. I can't stand it.
Well, you might actually find yourself agreeing with him during this certain part of his speech at the same Security Council that JD Vance was just speaking at, that we have that clip from, because what he is saying to Europe is he's basically preparing them for the possibility that the United States is not always going to be there with platters of money and our own soldiers ready to help them. They need to take care of themselves. And on this point, when he was actually suggesting maybe Europe needs its own army, I was like, I think that's a great idea.
Probably.
I think that's fantastic. Here he is.
Now we can't rule out the possibility that America might say no to Europe on issues that threaten it. Many leaders have talked about Europe that needs its own military, an army of Europe. And
yeah, clap for that. It's a great idea.
And I really believe that time has come. The armed forces of Europe must be created.
Yup.
He's just
no problem with that.
But it's because the spigot's starting to get turned off from America. And so now he's like, oh, where am I going to get the help and the money? You know? And he's like, well, I guess I'll turn to these guys, which, yes, I agree with what he's saying, but it doesn't make him any less of a grifter, which is precisely what the guy is.
He still wants all the money. Yeah.
That's all he wants. He just wants other people to fund what he wants to do. That's essentially who he is. He's an actor. I can't just, Okay.
Well, he made nice on Twitter with respect to his conversations with Trump. So this is what he posted. Do you want to read that? I know you love reading.
We have begun working with President Trump. Should I do it in his accent? We have begun working with President Trump's team and can already see that success is attainable. Right now, the world is looking up to America as the power that has the ability to not only stop the war, but also help ensure the reliability of peace afterward. Yeah. Ahead of the Munich Security Conference, I had a good call with POTUS, as well as a substantive meeting with Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio. We are also expecting General Kellogg to visit Ukraine soon to further assess the situation and explore pathways to President Trump's strong solutions, which can be truly peacemaking. Our teams are working thoroughly and in detail on a special agreement between our countries, one that will certainly strengthen both America and Ukraine. We are committed to making it a real success, exactly as we agreed. We also have productive meetings with U.S. senators and members of the House of Representatives. Yeah, I saw those pictures too. And they were,
we'll have that in a little bit.
Yeah, of course, we will see more of Putin's attempts to deceive the world and prolong the war, but real peace is possible. We must achieve it together, Ukraine, the United States, and Europe. This is about our shared security. Thank you, America.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah, keep working. Get back to work, suckers, because you're bankrolling all this. Yep.
Yeah, so there was a congregation of mostly Democrat, but also Republican senators who went to go visit with Zelensky. I don't exactly know why. And there's a lot of response to this, a lot of reaction to this. People are not happy that we've spent money sending all these people to go and fawn over Zelensky. But that appears to be exactly what we did. Here's a moment from their little round table.
How are you?
Lindsey Graham, of course.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
You look good. How's it going? Really? Yes.
Hang in there. You're my friends here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this.
God, what complete douchebags. I swear these guys, I can't. I'm looking at the people that are the Republicans there in that room, and I'm like, you're next, rhinos. You're next.
Like,
I mean,
why?
seriously.
Why was that happening?
Well, I don't know. It makes you wonder exactly why, like the behind the scenes reasons why. But Lindsey Graham, he's always like the one in the room that's doing that. Like, more war. We'll give more money for more war. That's him.
Well, and then he went completely overboard. Apparently, when he sat down with Zelensky to speak in front of whatever crowd was congregated, the fawning, you guys, it was just disgusting. Check this out.
You and your people, you're the ally I've been hoping for all my life. Not one American has died defending Ukraine. You've taken our weapons and you've kicked their ass. And I'm very proud to have you as our ally.
I'm sorry. Where is the ass kicking? Where has that happened?
I know, really? Like, I'd like to see the ass kicking too. And he's like, and we haven't suffered at all. Basically, what he's saying is, there's obviously, since there's no death on our side, we haven't suffered at all. Meanwhile, there are people from natural disasters in this country who are still living in tents.
Mm-hmm.
So we have suffered, Lindsey. It's nice you get to live in the bubble, you elitist jerk. I swear, I cannot with these people. Like, of course we've suffered. And you're right. The fawning over this guy is gross. There should never be fawning over somebody from, or a leader from another country. There just shouldn't be fawning. We're America.
Yeah. It was icky. And General Mike Flynn had something to say about it. Please read this too, if you would.
Graham is so wrong about everything. I'm sorry, but this man has to be defeated in the next election, and there should be strong condemnation of him from his colleagues in Congress and from the American people. Yes! Zelensky just recently stated that he has no idea where over half the billions of dollars of U.S. taxpayer even is. What the hell does it matter with this United States senator? Exactly. Sorry, but I'm done being politically correct. America is in a state of domestic crisis and can ill afford this fool's errand. Yeah. He's 150% correct.
Yeah.
Like,
and
what
he's telling Donald Trump at the end, Donald Trump needs to end this madness and quickly. And I don't know if he means the Ukrainian conflict or just Lindsey Graham in general.
Well, that's
but
up to
either
us.
way.
That's up to the people, and people keep electing these jerks. Stop doing it. It's like, you can really see now, we're starting to really see with this administration, what the true colors of people are. And I mean, we've seen Lindsey Graham for years. We've seen who he is. So it's time for him to go. Yeah. And he is very rich, isn't he, Pat? Yeah. They all get rich.
So it's going to be an interesting week because we will see how these peace negotiations continue to be discussed and how that moves forward. I have no idea. But in the meantime, that's what happened over the weekend. And now we have a serious mishmash of stuff coming at you. And I promise you that we will get to the Elon Musk baby drama also. But first, we have just a mishmash of stuff to get to, which starts with something related to Elon. And that is Rachel Maddow making an absolute fool out of herself, being super mad about a contract that Elon Musk won for $400 million worth of, I guess, his space trucks, his cyber trucks with the US government. Here she is reporting on it. And then you'll see Jesse Waters at the very end clarifying.
Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
That seems like a detail that you might want to have checked out.
Right. I feel like that's kind of important. Also, since when are they concerned about saving us money? I mean, for the past couple of weeks, all we've seen is them protecting all these scumbags who have been stealing from us for years, for eons. And they are the first one. But if it's Elon getting a contract for his business, that's somehow stealing from us. It's so interesting how they can have a dichotomy in their brains. Liberalism truly is a mental disorder. It really is.
It really is. I mean, the way that they are constantly screeching how Elon is an unelected bureaucrat,
right,
while they're protecting thousands of unelected bureaucrats
Yep.
who are continually spending our money. It's like, how do they not see
No,
how
they
dumb
can't.
that position is?
And they protected them. It's not just right now. They've always protected them. Like, okay, the whole like he's not elected thing. There's just no argument there. It's like now do Fauci, now do everybody in the IRS. Now, I mean, we could just go on and on with the people that we haven't elected. I just that argument is invalid.
It's so stupid. And yet they continue to make it, even as all the polling shows that America, by and large, the majority of us really like what's happening. We really want all of the spending to be cut. We want the investigations into the corruption to happen. And Jonathan Karl was saying that to Hakeem Jeffries, who just had that dumbass look on his face where he's like, I don't know.
I don't understand.
Favorability rating is actually higher than it ever was the first time around. Let me ask you, a recent poll by Marquette looked at several of the things that he has done or says that he is going to do, and 63% favor federal government's recognition of only two sexes, 60% favor deporting immigrants who entered the United States illegally, 60% favor expanding oil and gas production, 59% favor declaring an emergency at the southern border. Is there anything you are seeing that Trump is doing that you are in favor of, that you think is the right thing?
Let me say, as it relates to all of those issues, we're just at the beginning.
Okay. At the beginning of what? Losing? Because you're just going to keep on losing. They keep digging their heels in and they're like, but they're racist. And Tom Hanks said so on SNL.
Right.
Keep doing that. Just keep doing it.
They
digging
learn
their heels
nothing.
in. They absolutely don't.
That's my favorite.
It is.
Oh my gosh. And then if they couldn't get dumber, Al Sharpton. Oh my God. So Al Sharpton, this is just a 16-second clip. I don't even need to preface it because you're going to hear how ridiculous what he says is, and he has no idea. And the fact that he doesn't have any idea is everything that's wrong with Democrats. Listen to this insanity.
Our children's children will read American history. And can you imagine our reading that James Madison or Thomas Jefferson tried to overthrow the government so they could stay in power? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at American history.
Who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him what James Madison and George Washington or whoever else that he just listed did to create America? Who's going to tell him?
We fought a revolution over like a 2% T-tax, dude.
We overthrew a government essentially to become America. So
that's when men were badasses, you know what I mean? And then now there's some badassery coming back and they just can't handle it. They're so soft, the left.
Yeah.
They're so
squishy.
It's
like they're absolutely undone by actual masculinity. Yeah. They don't know how to handle it.
That hockey game probably made people go into cardiac arrest on the left. They can't.
You know, there was crying. There was so much crying.
So much crying in corners when they saw that. Oh God, the masculinity. Give me a break.
Speaking of masculinity, we played a clip of Tennessee Representative Mark Greene last week, but there was another one that is just as good, just as delicious. Him calling out the ridiculous Democrats for pushing back against Doge. Here it is in all of its glory.
Debate today, and the crocodile tears from Democrats just goes to show what's wrong with this town. Not a single Democrat I've heard has expressed dismay at the many examples of crazy, wasteful spending. I don't understand the objection to a deep dive in how we spend our money, but perhaps it's the fact that over the last several weeks, a massive surge has occurred in the search for a criminal defense attorney. That probably says it all. 5 times in this city, any other city in the nation. I'd like to remind the committee that President Kennedy unilaterally created USID through an executive order in 1961. Yet the President Trump, orders a momentary pause after winning a mandate for reform, and Democrats cry, constitutional crisis. Right. This is after 4 years of reckless spending and unrepentant lawlessness from the Biden administration.
I like that guy. Tennessee guy. I like him a lot. He's going places.
He's good stuff. That is good stuff.
It is.
Trump, of course, also very, very interested in returning America into a meritocracy where we're not looking at DEI, where affirmative action is no more, where we're just actually basing choices of candidates on qualifications and not on color of skin, right? So Representative Wesley Hunt was on a podcast recently talking about the fact that he won his election in a predominantly white district, and there's a reason for it. Here he is.
Lawlessness from the Biden administration.
Republican primary, I beat out 9 white guys. In the general election, I beat out a white guy by 30 points. And it's a white majority district.
Mm-hmm.
And they voted for me overwhelmingly. And why? Because I was the best candidate.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's literally what our party is. I get to wake up every day and live Martin Luther King's dream.
Yes.
I'm literally being judged by the content of my character, not by the color of my skin. So people like me come around and we look around. I'm just like, actually, I'm just here because I just want a better America. I don't even view myself as Black or African American. First of all, I'm an American. I'm a combat veteran. I am a father. I am a West Point graduate. I'm an Ivy League graduate. And we can go all the way down the line before I get the Black guy.
I'm a cool guy.
I try to be, right? I'm all these things. And I like the idea of our party not playing identity politics anymore. And then realizing that you see people like me, you see people like Byron Donalds, you see people like Senator Scott. We are all winning in white majority areas, by the way, people. So you can't call us racist anymore. Oh,
That people are not putting up with that shit. We're just not, because we know who we are and we're not. I mean, yes, there's probably a few racists on our side for sure, but there's a lot on the left, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because all they care about is race. I love the meritocracy. I love it. That is the way America is supposed to be. And I love that he talks about Martin Luther King because that's what he wanted. You know?
I love that. I love that entire clip. It was absolutely
it's fantastic.
perfect.
He's also very hot.
He is pretty hot. And when he does, have you ever heard his, like, anytime he does a speech on the House floor, he's got this really interesting cadence to the way that he talks. And I just love it. You find any clip of him on YouTube or wherever and just listen to how he speeches. It's awesome. It is so awesome the way that he talks. I just love it. Yeah.
He totally gets it. And that's the thing. He was elected by white people. I guess a bunch of racists. Which it's the antithesis of what a racist is. It's just so stupid. And they will keep trying to plant their flag in the racism thing and the misogyny and all this other garbage. But if you look at the people who Trump surrounds himself with and who we want representing us, we're not a racist party. But y'all keep trying, keep bringing it up. You'll keep losing.
Conversation about race was also had on the Bill Maher show this past weekend. He had Kid Rock as a guest, and he was asking about just unity, this idea of getting rid of division in the country. And here is that clip.
On the bringing people together part, I mean, you have a song called My Kind of Country. My kind of country has room for Trump and a JFK. That's the first line, right?
Had I known, it would have said RFK.
Is that the last Democrat you liked?
No, I mean, my whole business is Democrats. I mean, so to speak. Not my whole business. You know, I live in Nashville now, but that's the world I've operated for years and years. I mean, half my band's, you know, liberal, or gay, or black, or this. Like, you know, and it's like, we have one of the most diverse bands out there, not because of any of this DI shit, just because they're the best at what they do, and we all love each other and get along.
And I mean, you played the inauguration. Didn't Nelly and Snoop play that too?
Yeah, I believe they did. But remember, I also played Barack Obama's inauguration.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
I didn't vote for him. I played for him at the Kennedy Center. You know, this, that, and the other. I'm like, everybody's just got to calm the fuck down a little bit. You know what I mean?
He's right. He's totally right. He has a mentality of a Gen Xer, though. I think there are a lot of us that feel exactly the same way that he feels. And the country was going in a really good direction around the time that we were in college, you know, college age, end of high school, college. And now, you know, it's because of Obama that everybody started hyper fixating on race. Right. Let's just get real. He was the cause for that. And that's unacceptable.
Well, and you'll find most of the time that as far as relationships go, you can be a conservative and have liberal friends and, those liberal friends can tell you, I didn't, I think Trump is gross. And you'll be like, okay, that's fine. We can still hang.
Right.
But the reverse is never true. If a conservative tells a liberal, I voted for Trump, it's like, you're done. That's it. They cannot be friends with you.
Oh my
God.
That
happens so much more often that direction.
Without question. My God, 15 years ago, I lost one of my dearest friends just because I told her we're starting Chicks on the Right. We can't be friends anymore because I'm a liberal. What? We've been friends for years, and this is
still me. So
right. This is the thing. They can't deal. They can't deal. That whole tolerance and compassionate and loving and empathetic thing that they think that they're not any of those things. They're completely intolerant to anything else, anything that goes outside of their groupthink.
Yeah, it's true. And we've seen a lot of examples recently of liberalism infecting churches and the church pulpits. And man, do I ever have an example to share with you. This guy, oh my God. So this is one of those mega pastors. His name is Jamal Bryant. And he went on this anti-MAGA screed saying that God will remove Republicans from government agencies if people praise him. So gross and so screamy. Like I cannot imagine the kind of people who enjoy being preached to in the way that you're about to hear. I just don't get it.
Come on, Public Enemy. I came to tell white supremacists. I came to tell MAGA. I came to tell white privilege. We coming, we coming, we coming. We coming, we coming. God said, when you give me glory, I'm gonna run them out of the State Department. If you give me glory, I'm gonna run them out of Congress and run them out of Senate. If you give me glory, I'm gonna run them off of your job and run them off of your classroom. I need you to take your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, we gotta shout like we got faith.
Somebody said he sounded like a lion with asthma. That's what somebody said. That's what somebody said. I feel like he needs to worry more about his COPD than anything else, because that's that's happening.
It's a problem.
Something's happening there. Either that or people were saying he sounds like a demon. He kind of does sound like a demon.
Yeah. I mean, imagine attending that church and that's how you're addressed the entire time.
I would be laughing the whole
I'd be like,
time.
is that Arsenio Hall?
What is happening? Is he playing a character? What is going on? Like, this is why people don't go to church anymore. It's because of people like him. It's like, I can just read the Bible. I'm fine. I'm good. I don't need any of that. That is off the charts.
Gross. And you know that he is absolutely swimming in cash.
Totally.
You know it. Because I don't know what prompts these people to give like disgusting people like that money, but they do it. They do it.
Yep. They totally do. You're right. You're right, Mock. He's probably driving a really nice car, living in a big old mansion. You know, he's living high on the hog because God, no, that's not why.
Oh my God. Okay. Also, do you remember that Pennsylvania mayor who spelled Eagles wrong when she was like doing a rallying cry for the Philly Eagles? She's back, unable to articulate her thoughts properly. Here she is.
Reminded us all through their excellence that nothing is possible when we work together.
Nothing is possible when we work together.
Nothing is possible, you guys. It's like Maxine. What have they got on us? We got to see what they got on us. You know?
Right.
Okay.
Just to remind everybody about the bullet that we dodged. Kamala attended a Broadway show apparently over the weekend and wanted to give a little pep talk to the cast and crew. So she was backstage, and you guys, it's not just that it's word salad, because we expect this from Kamala at this point, and she's about to deliver a massive one. What really bothers me about this clip is the reaction to it. Is all the people that are pretending that the emperor has clothes on when they know full well that she doesn't.
Do they? But do they? Because some of those people probably were like, I really wanted her to be president. But
so I can't listen to what she's saying here and think that it's actually anything that's profound or meaningful.
I think you give people way too much. I think you give people way too much credit for their intelligence, Mock. I mean, listen, half the country, a little less than half the country voted for her. So this is what we're dealing with. There's not Yeah, she's right. The emperor has no clothes, and she's like scotchy, scotch.
This, and then you know what she does too? This.
Right.
She's always doing this. When she
She's,
does
you
the
know what it
points
is?
that she thinks are profound.
You know what it is? She's looking for balls, Mock. She's looking for him. She wants the balls, but the men around her, no balls. She's looking for him.
And you know that that's when she's on the struggle bus, is when you
Right.
see her hands go up, because this is her crutch. This helps her somehow. It's kind of like when I'm
when
like,
you go like this.
what's
When
this?
you go like
What's
that
that
to
word
me?
I'm looking
What's that
for?
word? What's that word? She goes like this. It's so true.
She goes like this, and it's this weird, like my hands are wet and there's something sticky on them. It's like that's what she's doing.
I just washed them, and there are no paper towels in the bathroom, and they don't have one of those air dryers,
Right.
so I'm just walking out like this. This is what she's doing with her hands.
So I hope you
Wow.
guys are sitting down, because you're about to be mesmerized with profundity. Here is the bullet that we dodged.
For those rights to be maintained, which means we have to be vigilant, and it's just the nature of it. Yes, I mean, look at this beautiful play and everything that we know he ended up. He was suppressed. He had to suppress so much, but he knew, and he took those risks. But we have to be clear-eyed, and it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything. Right?
Oh yeah.
These things all coexist. But I believe we fight for something, not against something. Right, and that's our optimism, right?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'm leaving.
With that, I'm leaving because I need some more scotch. Oh my God. Just what a nightmare that would have been. Oh, God, we so dodged a bullet.
We really got so lucky, you
Oh,
guys.
we did.
So lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Kennedy posted a very brief but meaningful Valentine's message for everybody. And you all need to see his Valentine's message.
Folks, I believe that love is the answer, but you ought to own a handgun just in case.
I freaking love him. God, I love him. So true. You really should. You should. own
Isn't he
a
the
firearm
best?
Just in case it doesn't work out that way. Mm-hmm.
Somebody remarked in here earlier that I am wearing the same sweatshirt that I had on one day last week. And it's true.
Well,
it's true. I didn't know I didn't know you guys thought I had wardrobe.
Right. Yeah. It's just she didn't get her swag bag from the people up top who were supposed to send her new shipment of clothing this week. So
Yeah,
sorry,
I can't
sorry
believe
about
people
that.
noticed that. Wow. That's
cannot believe
really
that.
scary.
Yeah. Okay.
I will do that often, you guys. I have my favorite
I will too.
comfy sweatshirts.
Right. We have clothes and we don't have Megyn Kelly
Like a
clothes.
fashion
We
budget.
don't have right. We don't have that. Just FYI. I know if you're new here, we don't have that kind of a budget. Mhm.
I just thought that was so funny that somebody noticed. Like, that's
Right.
freaking crazy. You guys,
Great
you don't,
sweatshirt. Great color
don't
on
notice
you.
that. That's
Right.
just
You should wear it
weird.
again. You should wear it again tomorrow. That's what I would do. That's how bitchy I am. I would have been like, oh,
Well,
yeah, okay.
I can absolutely assure you that whatever I wear tomorrow, I probably wore last week. So
Totally. So get ready.
I just cycle through. All right. Tomorrow, very, very excited about tomorrow evening, because we're going to see the entirety of the Trump Elon Musk sit down with Sean Hannity. So they both sat down together to do a joint interview with Sean Hannity, and assuming that Sean Hannity can keep his trap shut for 2 seconds and let these men speak, it should be a really interesting
That's
evening.
assuming a lot.
Fair. It is true, but we do have a preview. And I love this preview specifically because Hannity addresses the whole issue of people on the internet trying to tear the two of them apart, because you can see that constantly. Remember the Erin Burnett clip that we showed where she was like, you could tell how mad Trump was that Elon did all the talking in the Oval Office that day. And we're like, he wasn't mad at all.
What are you seeing? What's wrong with your eyes? Yeah, he wasn't mad at all. He's just like, yeah, just whatever.
This is fine. It gives me a break.
Have you seen my mugshot up on the wall? Have you seen it? Yeah, that's what he was. He doesn't care. Oh my God.
Of course he doesn't. And so I love that exact issue was addressed and that they both put it to bed in the best way possible. Here it is.
The media and the punditry class, not that, I think you've proven they have no power anymore, because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every late night comedy show, 2 cable channels. They threw everything, lawfare, weaponization.
Sure.
And now I see they want you two to start, they want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try, President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
Oh, I see it all the time. They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. They said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, it's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president.
Right.
Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity. I could do, outside of you and a few of your very good friends, it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, we do see what's happening. We do. I love that so much. Yeah. And that's why we want him in charge. It's because he knows that we know what we're smarter than what those other people think we are. He knows that. He actually gives a crap about us. That's why I love him being in charge. And I love Elon being in charge. And they're trying to take down the deep state. And it's a thing of beauty. It's like, this is history being made. And we're a part of it, you guys. It's so fantastic.
I love that clip. It just makes me so excited to see the full interview tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. All right. We have to address the big story of the weekend, which is that Elon has a new baby, the number 13th kid. Okay. So he's got his 13th child has been born 5 months ago. And Ashley St. Clair, who is a very popular right-wing influencer all over socials, claims to be the mother of his 13th child. And she made this announcement on Valentine's Day, tweeting out this, Alea lacta est, which I think means the die is cast. In Latin. And she said, 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days, it's become clear that tabloid media intends to do so regardless of the harm it'll cause. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting. And then a big giant photo spread and interview came out in the New York Post. So much for privacy that she was wanting. This was a very Meghan Markle sort of privacy request. And Keith Woods pointed out, saying, a journalist is asking about your personal life and you want to maintain privacy. Do you A, ignore them, or B, invite the national media into your home for a tell-all interview and feet pics?
Gotta have the feet pics. Gotta have them, you guys. There's a lot of guys out there that really like the feet, you know?
So
I don't know. One of them could be the next dad of another child that she has. One of them could, right? Feet guy.
There's a lot to the story. I think the most interesting part of it was how many right-wing influencers rushed to congratulate her.
Right.
And not just influencers, but like prominent right-wing figures. And so we've got like a slew of them. Just to give you an example, I think the first one that we have is from Rachel Campos Duffy, saying, congratulations, so happy for you. Enjoy this precious time with your baby. Media vultures can buzz off. There's so many others, and we'll go through just a little smattering of them. Laverne Spicer, Valentina Gomez, Cat Turd, like everybody is congratulating her and insisting, kids need to stay off limits. Let's see, who do we have next? There's so many that I was surprised to see. Candace Owens. Children should always be off limits. Journalists are parasites. Hard to imagine going through this with a young one. Better to come out with this on your own terms. George and I will be praying for you. She's obviously super tight with a lot of people. Mike Benz congratulated her. Sydney Watson, who we've had on our show.
Right.
Linda Yaccarino of X. Kimberly Klasick. It just went on and on and on. James O'Keefe, Lynn Patton, People were just fawning all over this whole story.
Right.
Sarah Gonzalez, whose show we were on not terribly long ago. There's just so many. I couldn't believe it. And then lastly, Robbie Starbuck, Lila Rose, Matt Gaetz, Jack Posobiec, or Posobiec. I never remember how to say his last name.
Posobiec.
Posobiec. Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. So there were lots and lots of people fawning over this news. Whereas I was
we're not so fawny. We're going to put it out there. We're not so fawny. I mean, I think the thing that really bothers me is that she, this is what got me, is when she said she was, quote, forced to spend her pregnancy alone as she was holed up in a lavish apartment in New York City. No one forced you to do anything. It's a free country. I mean, I know a lot of people, let's just get real. Elon's going to pay child support.
Not just child support.
He'll pay for everything.
Isn't that apartment like $40,000 a month?
It's something like that. I don't know. I just know that, like, you can't say I was forced to hole up in a lavish apartment. Nobody forced you. Nobody's forced you to do anything. Nobody forced you to go have sex with him. Nobody forced him to have sex with it was a consensual thing. You know what I mean? And then a child has resulted out of it. And I don't know what she thought was going to happen. It's like, I think I have to tread lightly a little bit here, but I think there are some girls that go into the situations thinking, oh, he's going to love me. And he's going to, maybe that's what she wanted, is for him to love her. And he doesn't love her. He just slept with her. You know what I me? And now
we know Elon wants all the babies. Like he wants a zillion babies.
Totally. Which is also kind of weird, but if you know that going in, I don't know. I think he forced me to do this and forced me to do that. You're not a victim. I think that's where I get irritated, is there's no victimhood here. She's not a victim. She's a grown woman who went and had relations with him, knowing full well who he is and what he does. And so,
there's actually some evidence to suggest that she's been trying to be his baby mama for years. And so we'll show you that as well. The reason a lot of people are speculating, now again, I don't know the truth about this, but some people are speculating that the reason she came out with it when she did, because she didn't provide any evidence or name the outlet that was apparently going to out her unless she did it herself. But it was interesting that, like, the same exact weekend, Elon has said nothing about this, by the way. He did not respond to her. He didn't come out on his own X account to say, yes, this is true. He's absolutely ignored it entirely. But remember that he brought one of the baby mamas, what's her name? Siobhan Zillis.
Yeah, Siobhan.
The mother of 3 of his kids. He brought her and the kids to DC recently. And of course, that was in all the tabloids. It was on all the press. And some people are speculating that Ashley, that did not sit well with her. And so she decided enough is enough. I'm going to come out with this already. And so Siobhan then the next day after Ashley came out with this news, posted this picture of 2 of her kids saying, the little loves of my life. And Elon hearted it.
Right.
And so the fact that he did that after Ashley came out with this, that did not sit well with her either, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then Milo Yiannopoulos posted an old tweet of hers with Greg, an exchange with her between her and Greg, somebody, I can't remember you, but you'll see it on the screen, Greg Price. So at the top, it was like, I need to get Elon Musk's attention for a marriage proposal.
Please, Greg. Please, Greg.
Please, Greg. Yes. And this is back in 2020. And Greg said he's got a kid with a woman already, seems unlikely to work out. And Ashley said, well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through women pretty fast. And Milo tweeted that out over the weekend. And you can see at the bottom that Elon responded, whoa.
Yeah. It's a transactional relationship. That's what this is. And she's pissed off that he isn't making it any more than that. You know what I mean? I think, I just can't imagine having a baby with or just going into that thinking, okay, we're not married. Like we don't have it's not even that we're not married. That doesn't bother me. It's he is the richest man in the world. She knew that. I don't know how long this relationship was, but it was, very transactional. It seems very transactional to me. And I feel sorry for the kid. I do. I just feel sorry.
Well, and it's the second kid that she's had like outside of a marriage. So she's already got a child with Dr. How does he get Dr. Johnny? He's like some chiropractor that's been on reality shows.
Right.
She's already got a son with him. So this isn't a new, like, it's not like she's unaware of how kids get made and how this works.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
she's
totally.
she was very, very purposeful with this entire arrangement.
And that's why I don't like the victimhood thing. It's one, like, it's whatever. I'm not going to judge you if you guys do this willingly. That's fine. I still feel sorry for the kid. Cause I mean, listen, I've come from a dysfunctional family where I really truly believe that fathers are important in the home. I believe that. I've wanted that for all of our kids have had that, and they're good kids. And I think it matters. I believe that matters. This is more transactional. I just think I think it kind of sucks for the kid. You know,
it does. And there's clearly going to be drama, because as soon as Elon sent back whoa to this Milo tweet, she responded. And so apparently she's been trying to get in touch with the baby daddy, and Elon has not been responsive to her. So in response to him saying whoa, she said, Elon, we've been trying to communicate for the past several days and you have not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who just posted photos of me in underwear at 15 years old?
Yeah, but
so this is like,
but meanwhile, while she's writing this, she's holed up in a lavish apartment in New York, right? I mean,
right. And she's trying to disparage Milo for posting photos of her in her underwear. Those photos are actually readily available on her own Twitter account that she used with a different name.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was digging out pictures of her. These are pictures that are on her own profile. So she deleted this tweet. Okay. So I'm sure Elon behind the scenes finally did contact her and said, can you please stop? Or maybe Elon deleted it. I don't know. But that wasn't the only tweet that she posted to him. She said, it's interesting that Elon is responding to this clearly in jest screenshot that was discussed with his team months ago in a documented call. Now he decides to respond to it publicly from an account that posted underage photos of me, as if he wasn't asking me to have more children last week. I would like to take this offline for our child's sake and have been attempting to do so for weeks. Yeah. So it's just and she deleted this too. So she posted that, deleted it. And now all of like their flirtations back from 2023 are coming out. So she had posted a headline saying Wagner chief says his forces will pull back. Elon said back to her, the pull-out method. Speaking personally, I obviously prefer the pull-in method. And then she was like, oh my God, go to horny jail.
Bonk. Yeah. It's just, oh my God, I can't. It's transactional. And
And then even more interestingly is that people predicted this relationship. So back when she was talking about Elon about something related to X, blue collar union railroader said she's going to be Elon Musk's new baby mama at some point. And man, was he ever right. I think Milo also said back in September, which is when the baby was born.
Right.
He said, so Trashley St. Clair of the Sex Laptop, that was her previous handle on Twitter, who sold news and effed anything for clout and career leg ups, including Elon, whose child she claims she just had. We need to discuss this.
And that
this
was
in
September.
Yeah.
So he obviously knew something then. Yeah. This is the thing. I mean, I just don't see her as a victim. I don't see her as the person who is victimized here. I don't. I mean, I know people who are single mothers who do it on their own because the father is not present, and they don't consider themselves victims. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they don't get gajillions of dollars to be holed up in a lavish apartment in New York City, you know, and whatever else she's going to probably get out of this transactional deal. So I just don't see her as a victim.
Well, and the whole thing about how she was forced to stay silent, that she wasn't allowed to tell her friends, or else what? Was Elon holding a gun to her head? No, he was probably just saying, you're going to get a certain amount of money if you stay quiet. And she could have easily just decided to get a lesser amount of money through the court, which obviously would have given her child support and done whatever she wanted. But she wants a payout. And I don't know what could make it more clear than the fact that she said she was forced to stay quiet.
Right.
Nobody can force you to do that.
Nobody can force you. Not in this country. Nobody can force you to do that. No, unless you're willing to take a price for it. And that's the thing. And I believe I saw somewhere where her friends were forced to sign NDAs. Who are these friends? Who
What
are
in
they?
the world?
This is the thing. You choose, you make choices.
Right.
We're still a free country. You make choices. And this is a weird situation, but there are so many women who are in the same situation who are like, you know what? I'm going to live my life. I'm going to raise this child and I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
If that's what you wanted, if you wanted a child out of it, you know?
After all of this, she then posted like basically a goodbye thing on Twitter. And she said, this was on Valentine's Day also. She said, in all sincerity, appreciate the kind words. Wish I didn't feel the need to make a statement. Kids should be off limits for journalists. Will be spending time with my family and logging off for a while. She couldn't. She came back literally 2 days later and posted this. Can you believe the nerve of this gold digger with a picture of Zelensky? Obviously trying to, kind of make fun of the fact that everybody's calling her a gold digger.
Right.
And I loved Sarah Rose's response, which was, is this the privacy that you speak that you wanted people to respect? You posting this shit on Twitter?
Right.
I mean, it's just so icky. The whole thing is so icky.
Yeah.
And full disclaimer, she blocked us probably a year and a half ago. I loved her stuff. Like, I thought she was hilarious. Her content was super funny, but it really bothered me when she did one of those voiceover, like those, what's the word? Not karaoke, but like, lip sync. She did a lip sync video where she took this total nobody off of TikTok that made a really, really great political video. She took that woman's audio and then mouthed over it, and it went completely viral. And she never credited that woman, that creator who really deserved all the credit.
She stole content. She stole content is what she did.
And she tried to say, well, everybody lip syncs and this is like totally normal. Just tag her. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do. So I very nicely, because again, I liked Ashley. I thought she was really a fun follow. And I said to her, I was like, you know what? This is not cool. Like, you clearly took this from, I don't even remember who it was now, but this was so long ago.
Yeah, nobody does.
Took this.
She's not the one making money off of it. Yeah.
You clearly took this from so-and-so. You should at least tag her and give her the credit. And she immediately blocked us. And ever since then, I've been like, really? Because I was nice about it. Like,
right.
Why would you do that?
I know.
I don't know.
Especially to another conservative. You know,
yeah, that was like really crappy.
It's like I handle our Instagram. I constantly, I put content from other people on our page, but you credit the crap out of them. You credit them. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't steal content, you know?
Yeah, it just, I don't like that. I didn't like it. And I don't like this whole situation. Whatever. Elon can have as many kids as maybe he is asking her to have even more kids. Who knows? Right. But to your point, she should not be acting like, oh, woe is me.
I'm a victim. No, you're not. You're not a victim.
Gross.
Enjoy the payout, because it's going to be a lot. I mean, that kid will be taken care of and she will be taken care of. But, there's nothing to just make it. The last point I'll make is no amount of money in the world is substitute for a present mom and dad in the house.
Or a family, like a family, like
you
a
being
real
a family.
Of a family.
Right. There's no amount of money that's a substitute for that. So
yeah. Anyway, that's the story. If you guys want to follow it further, you can, but that is as deep as we're going to get into it. And now it is time for some My Pillow talks. The first one, not your typical talk, but there was a person who wanted to catch Jerry Seinfeld in one of those moments where you get a selfie with a celebrity only to like try to make that celebrity look bad. You be the judge. Do you think Jerry Seinfeld ended up looking bad here?
Jerry, can I get a selfie? Sure. Free Palestine. I don't care about Palestine.
Right.
That's sad.
Really? It's freaking Jerry Seinfeld. What did you think was going to happen, dude? Oh my God.
I love it. He's just like, I don't care about
Palestine. I don't care about that.
That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. The next thing you're about to see is meant to be an ASMR kind of like listen to the sounds of like all this crazy stuff, but it's also somebody taking off makeup. And I will say, as far as trans people go, this is a very effective trans costume. I did not know that they had body like suits that can make you look like a woman, like that comes with the boobs and Anyway,
I didn't
you'll
know
see
that
it.
either. Wow. Okay.
This is wild.
Wow. Oh my God. That is crazy. I mean, he still looks pretty feminine. I gotta say.
Yes, he does.
He's
But
very
like
feminine.
also, holy shit.
Yeah. This is the thing. I feel sorry for dudes right now.
Right?
That are dating.
Oh my
They're
God.
like, is that real? Is any of this real? What's happening? Yeah, it's crazy. I really do feel sorry for dudes who date.
Oh my God.
Because
That
listen,
is-
the men who want to be women, okay, like I get it. Men who want to be, a lot of them are like the guy that we showed from Germany. But then there are dudes like that who I'm just like, wow.
Like they have it perfected to a science, man.
Yeah.
It's
So
that-
Scott said, don't go to Thailand. I'm just dying. Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right. My
Crazy.
husband sent me this, so you can blame him for how ridiculous it is. But
Okay.
this is a husband surprising his wife with what he believes she will love, which is a gorilla chair. And then there's an extra bonus.
All right, baby, you ready for your big surprise?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
All right,
Oh my
ready?
God.
3, 2, 1.
Nathan, no!
If you hate that, you're gonna hate what's in our room.
What's in our room? And why is there a llama?
It's an alpaca!
My God. What in the world? You don't put an alpaca in a bedroom. You don't. You don't do that. Just
You
pro
guys,
tip.
that's a discussion that you want to have
It's
before
a
you
farm
buy an
animal.
alpaca.
You don't do that. I promise you, that's not going to end well.
Oh my God, but that did crack me up.
Mhm.
All right, now you're about to see a montage of cats being caught in doing hilarious things. There's so many weird cats, you guys.
Oh. What? Just doing my ab work. Just doing my ab work over here. My God. Oh. I'm afraid of this cat.
He's
Oh.
wiggling.
I'm wiggling. Okay. That freaks me out too. I want
When they
him.
stand, I know.
Yeah,
Oh my
when
God.
when they stand, that is so creepy, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I want it, but it's creepy. Oh my
Got a
gosh.
pot of cat stew right there.
Oh.
Let me smell your butt. Let me smell it.
Oh my God. Look at him. Just thinking. Just thinking.
This is freaky.
Stop it.
What is he doing?
Stop.
Oh my gosh, he's flat.
Flat. Flattest cat ever.
It's hashtag flat cat. That's crazy.
I know, it was absolutely nuts. All right, and you know, I had an opportunity. I will never forget this. It was one of the greatest, like not pet, but like exotic animal experiences I've ever had. And if you know me, you know I've had many of those.
You've had many, yes. I've been on some of them with you. Yes.
Yes, you have. But one of my favorites, absolute favorites, was the lemurs. And being in a like tiny enclosure with two lemurs that were absolutely flying at my face and like kissing me and just. It was the greatest. I could have spent hours and hours and hours and hours there. I love lemurs. And this fellow has discovered that lemurs really enjoy Adele's music. Check it out.
Okay.
Let me photograph you in this slide in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old. It made us restless.
So weird looking.
I love them.
Just like a song.
This guy sings to all sorts of animals. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, that's what he does.
Oh
That's
my
his shtick.
God.
I see
And
him
they
on
all
Insta-
love it.
Yeah, I see him on Instagram. I saw him out there with a bunch of horses, and the horses
Oh
all
my
came up
gosh.
to him. I think he does this with animals, and it is kind of neat. Animals love music. You know, my cows love David Bowie. They really do.
Is that their favorite? Like, have you figured out their
I don't
actual
know.
favorite?
I don't know if it's that. I probably need to play more music for them just to find out what their favorite would be. But they do
Oh
like
my
music.
gosh.
I mean, they hear it and they'll gravitate towards it. I think it's really sweet.
That is so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to thank yous, just I have to shout out Wanda, our insider Wanda. Look at what she gave me. You guys, she had her daughter's 80-year-old neighbor paint this picture of my Ella dog, and it looks. I mean, it is her. It's Ella dog. And I just love it so much. I just love it.
And she's going to have a dog wall, you guys, in her office.
I'm going to have a dog wall. It's going to be a wall right here. Like, you can't see it right now, but when I get it done, I will, I'll show it in a show one day. I actually still have not made my video tour for insiders and supporters because it took until this past weekend for us to finally put stuff on the walls. So I've been waiting and waiting for that to happen. I think this coming weekend, I will be doing a video tour. If you're interested in seeing that, you need to be a Facebook insider or local supporter. And that's where it'll be posted for those folks.
She has a fancy tour, and I will only be able to show you my cows. That's pretty much it. So we're very
you did a tour back in the day. You did a house tour.
It wasn't a whole house tour. I think I just did some bits and pieces of like.
Well, you should do a whole house tour.
I probably could at some point, but it's like my house is not like showroom kind of house. So
it is showroom kind of house.
It's just a barn. I live in a barn, you guys. I basically live in a big barn. Yeah,
it's a barn dominium.
But I can show you my cows, which to me is priceless. Right? They're beautiful. My cows are beautiful.
Let's get to some thank yous from over the weekend. And we will start with, this is from the Ball Pit crew. Cafe Shay 11 says, my Valentine has paws. Olive the cat is not materialistic. So she says, happy Valentine's Day, chicks. Take meow money.
It's so cute.
From Rhonda Petrin, she says, happy Valentine's Day. Congrats to Mock. So glad you're still here.
Yes.
How about them Philly dogs? Celebrating Valentine's Day for the first time with my fiance. Dinner and going to see a band.
Well, congratulations. Somebody's getting married. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Lindsay Atwell said, hey, jerks. Unfortunately, the almost mass shooter was at my former high school. P.S. Daisy, we used to be town neighbors.
Okay, yeah.
Crazy world we live in, but thankful that someone spoke up. Thankful for our small town police department. Hope that person gets the help that they need.
All that you said. Amen.
Yes, for real. And then today on Venmo, Kathy Esterly said, this is for your clothing fund.
You need some more clothes. She just bought a house. She can't afford clothes.
Can't afford clothes. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, don't be. It's insane. Okay, are you ready?
Now you. Yes.
Leah Shallett. Do I feel bad that Fox News misrepresented Kaitlan Collins' tweet? No. Happy Monday. Take my money, jerks. Marcus Drake. Morning, ladies. Totally unrelated to anything that being discussed. You have got to see the music video FAFO by Jason Corsi. It will rock your socks off. Okay, we will check that out. Marcus. Brian Brumley, from what I deduced, U.S. players decided that if the anthem got booed, they would drop the gloves. They did, and they did. I love it so much. Yeah, hockey. So great. Leah Shallett, I'm thinking that any Jews in Germany should flee now. It won't be long till Germany's psychotic government is back doing the bad stuff. It is really alarming what they're doing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paula Johnson, can you even imagine Kamala giving a speech like JD's? God was looking out for us. He really was. Yes, God is good, right? BTK, how can Ukraine, the size and population of France, come out of this war after the sacrifice in life and livelihood? These are not sheep. They're struggling. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, but can you hear my dog barking? I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Robin Solomon died. Does Rubio have the Invisalign lisp? So do I. Really? I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't notice that.
No. Back when Mock and I met him, I think his hair was different. He's definitely got new hair.
He was losing it, and now he's had a transplant or whatever. But
yeah, he's got good hair. Spirit filled. I'm here watching the hot chicks. I don't know which ones are you referring to us? Because it's like because Mock apparently needs to change your shirt.
Yeah, I need a new wardrobe.
Wendy, the world needs to be ready. America is a mom on Saturday morning cleaning the house. Love that, Wendy. Oh my gosh, it's my mom used to do that all the time on Saturday morning. Spirit filled. Her sweater has been underburdened.
Unburdened and
her sweater.
Whose sweater?
Whose sweater? I don't know whose sweater. I think it's no.
Is it me?
No, because you have it on, so it's burdened again. So I don't know. CNews.
I don't know whose sweater.
CNews. Last almost month has been glorious with Trump. Winning never gets old. Request for prayers to tailgate Sean Jeffries and family stuck in South Africa with great unrest.
Oh
Stay
my
safe.
gosh.
Wear the shirt tomorrow too, Mock. Balls. I totally agree. BTK. So what to do about women who use kids as hostages?
Well, I mean, Elon's well prepared to take care of
Totally.
her forever.
She'll be well taken care of the rest of her life.
Yeah.
And so will that child, I have no doubt, except for it's not like a family unit that,
No.
then nothing replaces that. And that kind of sucks for him. So, but
Yeah.
they'll have money. So that's great. Yay, money. Yay. Woo.
You guys, we're going to be recording with Sean Spicer in just a little bit, in about an hour. So check out his show later this afternoon because we will be on it.
Yes, you guys have a wonderful Monday. We'll talk to you. Oh, wait, to bring it in. We have to bring it in. I'm sorry. We did not bring it in. That's my bad. Sorry. Okay, you guys have a wonderful Monday. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.